Hey you. Yeah, you. Thinking about TurboGears. Want to hire a developer who can really make it sing? Well, you've come to the right place. We're going to take a deep dive into the world of TurboGears developers.
Mm.
But finding the right developer can sometimes feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack, right?
Oh, yeah, it can be.
So we're here to help you navigate this crazy landscape. Got questions, we have answers. And if you want to simplify your search right now, you can head over to theperfectdeveloper.com and try out their 5 questions tool. It's a great way to find your perfect developer match.
Yeah, TurboGears. It's interesting. TurboGears kind of finds this sweet spot between flexibility and full stack capabilities.
Yeah.
It's not as opinionated as Django, which means that you have more control over the structure, but it offers more out of the box functionality than Flask.
Oh, okay. So it's like the Goldilocks of Python frameworks.
Yeah.
Not too much, not too little, just right.
Right.
But let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. What exactly do TurboGears developers do? Paint us a picture.
Okay, imagine you're building a house. Your TurboGears developer is your architect, your engineer, your construction crew, all rolled into one.
Wow.
They take your vision, your blueprints for this amazing web application, and they turn it into reality using TurboGears.
Okay.
They're writing the code, managing the databases, building APIs that let different parts of your application talk to each other, and making sure the whole thing can scale as your user base grows.
So they're not just coders, they're like problem solvers too.
Absolutely, and that's where their deep understanding of TurboGears really shines. They know how to leverage the framework's components, things like TurboJSON for handling data, Tosca widgets for creating reusable UI elements, and School Alchemy for managing those complex databases.
Okay, wait. Back up for a second. Tosca widgets, TurboJSON. These sound like super technical.
Yeah.
Break it down for us. Why are these components so important for a TurboGears project?
Think of them like specialized tools in a carpenter's toolbox. Each one serves a specific purpose, and mastering those tools is really what separates a skilled TurboGears developer from someone who just kind of dabbles in Python.
Yeah.
For example, Tosca widgets. It lets developers build these reusable chunks of user interface. Think forms, menus, anything users interact with.
Okay.
So instead of reinventing the wheel every time, they can use these pre-built widgets to speed up development and create a consistent look and feel across the application.
That's all about working smarter, not harder.
Well,
Right.
exactly.
Okay, and what about TurboJSON? What makes that component so special?
Well, TurboJSON is all about handling data efficiently. It helps developers easily convert data between Python objects and JSON format, which is the language of the web.
Right.
This is crucial for building applications that can communicate with other systems, retrieve data from APIs, and ultimately deliver a smooth, responsive experience for your users. Okay, got it. So these components are like secret weapons that TurboGears developers use to build awesome web apps. Now, I know what you're thinking. Show me the money. What's the salary range for these TurboGears gurus?
Let's get real about those numbers.
Yeah.
Like any tech job, salary depends on experience, location, and demand.
Yeah.
But let's break it down by experience level: junior, mid-level, and senior. ThePerfectDeveloper.com actually has a fantastic salary guide that can give you really granular insights based on specific regions and even freelance rates.
Oh, that's great. So bookmark theperfectdeveloper.com, folks. They are a gold mine of information when it comes to finding and hiring developers. But to give us a general idea, can you throw out some ballpark figures? Let's say we're looking for a mid-level TurboGears developer in North America. What kind of salary are we talking about?
For a mid-level developer in North America with solid TurboGears experience, you're probably looking at a salary range of around $85,000 to $120,000 per year. Okay, so not chump change.
Yeah.
But remember, you're investing in a specialized skill set that can make a huge difference in the success of your project. Now, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about the best way to bring these TurboGears wizards onto the team. Full-time, part-time, in-house, or maybe even outsourcing. So many options.
Yeah, and each option has its pros and cons, which we'll delve into after a quick break.
All right, sounds good.
So choosing the right hiring model, it really boils down to your project needs and budget. If you're building a long-term product and need someone dedicated full-time, that comes with the benefits of, deep integration into your team and consistent focus on your goals. But of course, it also comes with higher costs, including salary, benefits, and all the things that come with having an employee.
Right, so full-time is great for commitment, but maybe not for every budget.
Yeah.
What about dipping our toes in with a part-time TurboGears developer? When would that make sense?
Part-time can be perfect for smaller projects, specific features, or even ongoing maintenance. It's a way to get expert help without the full financial commitment of a full-time employee.
Sounds cost-effective. But I'm guessing there are trade-offs.
Yeah, the potential downside is availability and focus. Part-time developers often juggle multiple projects, so they might not be as readily available as someone who's solely dedicated to your project.
Got it. So commitment versus flexibility. Now, what about outsourcing? Is that a viable option for finding TurboGears talent?
Absolutely. Outsourcing opens up a global talent pool, and you can often find highly skilled TurboGears developers at a more competitive rate. Plus, you can scale your team up or down more easily, depending on project needs.
Okay, that flexibility sounds pretty appealing. Yeah. But I imagine communication and managing a remote team can be tricky.
Those are definitely factors to consider. Time zones, language barriers, and cultural differences can all pose challenges when you're working with a team that's not physically in the same location.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so outsourcing is a bit of a gamble then. High reward potential, but also higher risk. So let's say we've weighed our options and we're ready to start the search. Where do we even begin? Job boards? Freelance platforms? Help a listener out?
Well, theperfectdeveloper.com actually breaks down the best places to find developers by technology, experience level, and even whether you're looking for full-time, part-time, or freelance.
Another shout out to theperfectdeveloper.com. Seriously, folks, check them out. They're making the developer hiring process so much less painful. But beyond that, any general advice on where to focus our search for these TurboGears gems?
For full-time roles, traditional job boards like Indeed and LinkedIn can be a good starting point. But to really tap into the TurboGears community, you need to go where the developers hang out. Think Python forums, specialized job boards like pythonjobs.com, and even open source communities on GitHub.
Right.
That's where you'll find people who are passionate about TurboGears and actively contributing to its ecosystem.
So go where the passion is.
Yeah.
Now let's fast forward a bit. You found a few promising candidates, your interviews are lined up. What are some must-ask questions to really gauge their TurboGears expertise?
It goes beyond just rattling off technical terms. You want to understand their problem-solving process, their experience with specific TurboGears components, and their ability to clearly explain complex concepts.
Yeah, for sure. So it's not just about knowing the what, it's about knowing the why and the how. Give us a few example questions that can really separate the TurboGears masters from the novices.
Don't be afraid to get specific. Ask about their experience with Tosca widgets, how they've used TurboJSON to optimize data handling, or their approach to building RESTful APIs within the TurboGears framework.
Okay.
And always ask for concrete examples from past projects. How did they solve a challenging problem? What did they learn from that experience? You want to see that they can not only talk the talk, but also walk the walk.
Right, put their money where their mouth is.
Right.
Okay, so those are some interview gold nuggets. But interviews are just one piece of the puzzle, right?
Yeah.
What about technical tests? Are those essential when hiring a TurboGears developer?
Technical tests are crucial for seeing how a candidate actually applies their knowledge. You might give them a small coding challenge, ask them to debug a piece of code, or even have them work on a mini project that mimics a real-world scenario you might encounter. The key is to make sure the test is relevant to the skills you need for your project and allows them to demonstrate their proficiency in TurboGears.
Makes sense. Put those skills to the test. Now, let's say you've gone through the whole process. You found your TurboGears superstar, and they've officially joined your team. High fives all around. But the journey doesn't end there, right? How do you set them up for success and make sure they hit the ground running?
Yeah, onboarding is often overlooked, but it's crucial for a smooth transition. It's not just about giving them access to the code base. It's about making them feel welcome, integrated into the team, and equipped with everything they need to thrive.
Okay, so onboarding checklist time. What are the must-dos to ensure a new TurboGears developer feels like a valued part of the team?
Start with the practical stuff. Make sure their development environment is set up correctly. They have access to all the necessary tools and resources, and they understand the project's structure and coding standards. But don't stop there. Assign them a buddy or a mentor, someone who can answer questions, provide guidance, and help them navigate the company culture.
It's all about creating that sense of belonging. And what about setting expectations and goals? How do we ensure that everyone's on the same page from day one?
Yeah, you want to have a clear conversation about their role and their responsibilities and what success looks like in their position. Set clear goals, define how often you'll check in, and make sure they understand how their work contributes to the bigger picture of your project.
So no one's left guessing. Clear communication is key. Now, what about those red flags? What are some warning signs to watch out for during the hiring process that scream, run away? This is not the TurboGears developer you're looking for.
One of the biggest red flags is a lack of genuine experience. Anyone can say they're a TurboGears expert on their resume, right?
Yeah.
But can they back it up with real-world examples, code samples, or a deep understanding of the framework's intricacies? If they're vague about past projects or struggle to answer technical questions, that's a signal to proceed with caution.
Okay, so dig deep, ask tough questions,
Mm.
and don't be afraid to challenge their claims. Got it. What about those green flags? What are some signs that you found a truly exceptional TurboGears developer, someone who's not just technically skilled, but also a great fit for your team?
Look for that spark of passion. Do they light up when talking about TurboGears? Are they excited about the challenges your project presents? Enthusiasm is contagious, and you want someone who's genuinely invested in the success of your application.
Yeah, for sure. So it's not just about ticking boxes on a skills checklist. It's about finding someone who shares your vision and is ready to roll up their sleeves and get coding. Now, before we wrap up, I have to ask, what's on the horizon for TurboGears? What trends are you most excited about?
Hmm. TurboGears has always been about staying ahead of the curve, and what's really exciting right now is the integration of machine learning and AI into web applications.
Oh,
TurboGears, with its flexibility and ability to handle complex data structures, is perfectly positioned to be a leader in this space.
okay.
Imagine building applications that can learn from user behavior, personalize content, and even make intelligent predictions. That's the power of TurboGears combined with AI.
Wow, that sounds incredibly powerful. So if you're looking to build the next generation of intelligent web applications, TurboGears might just be your secret weapon. And on that note, I think we've covered a ton of ground today, giving you all the insights you need to confidently navigate the world of TurboGears development.
Absolutely. And remember, finding the right TurboGears developer is an investment in the success of your project.
Couldn't agree more. And if you're feeling overwhelmed or just want a helping hand, don't forget to check out theperfectdeveloper.com. Their 5 questions tool can help you narrow down your search, and their team of experts can guide you through every step of the hiring process.
It's a fantastic resource for anyone looking to build their dream development team.
So there you have it, folks, our mini deep dive into the world of hiring TurboGears developers. Remember, take your time, do your research, and don't be afraid to ask lots of questions. And with the right approach, you'll be well on your way to building amazing web applications with TurboGears. Now go forth and code. And don't forget to check out theperfectdeveloper.com to get started. Until next time.